Our next topic is components of self-esteem. Now, when I say components of self-esteem, there are two interrelated aspects within self-esteem. These are self-efficacy and self-respect. What is self-efficacy? Self-efficacy is the confidence in my mind, in my functioning, my ability to judge, to decide, my ability to understand all the facts in my within my sphere of knowledge, and then take a well-informed decision. Or say it is self-trust or self-reliance. Basically, the confidence that I have in myself to do a certain task, to be in a certain situation, to deal with a new task. For instance, if I say that if I'm learning how to drive a car, I trust myself to eventually learn how to drive the car. I trust myself to eventually get the hang of a new task. So that is self-efficacy. Basically, my confidence in my mind in terms of functioning, in terms of decision making, the confidence in my judgments that I have, that is self-efficacy. The next component of self-esteem is self-respect. Self-respect is an assurance, an affirmation, a positive affirmation rather, of our value, our attitude towards ourselves. Now, these are the people who tend to have a very assertive way of articulation. They are neither too passive nor very aggressive. Someone with a high score on self-respect would consider being vocal about his or her opinions, irrespective whether they are different from others, without offending anybody else, yet being vocal about how they feel. So they articulate themselves better. They're more assertive in voicing their opinions and concerns. That is self-respect. These are the two components of self-esteem. Self-efficacy, I'm talking about confidence. Self-respect, I'm talking about how I value myself or my sense of self-worth. Clearly, these two aspects of self-esteem are interrelated. Now, having discussed so much about self-esteem, positive, negative, how to build a healthy self-esteem, let's have a quick recap of what we've spoken about so far. To summarize, people with a healthy or a positive self-esteem are more inclined and oriented towards self-enhancement. This will be very evident even in their actions. They don't compare themselves to anybody else but to their past performance. They constantly work towards value addition, be it in their personal or professional life, and they constantly work towards raising the bar higher and higher. They are the ones who don't face much difficulty in problem solving. They're willing to take on newer challenges. On the contrary, people with a low self-esteem, as discussed earlier, they tend to feel very deficient in one way or another. As a result, there is a sense of emptiness prevailing within. Now, the only way of coping with this emptiness is that they might get latched or addicted to something to feel good about themselves, but that feel good factor is but temporary. This might lead to substance abuse. So we can say that it is but essential to have a very healthy and a positive self-esteem. I have a case for you. Let's say Gia, she is a bright young girl. However, to me she seems to be a bright one. To herself, she puts herself down on her abilities and on her appearance. She doesn't look that as good to herself as she does to others. Also, if she has to rate herself on a continuum from 1 to 10 for her self-esteem, she'll rate herself around 3 or 4. One major reason for this particular behavior that she's been displaying is because she feels, rather she's sure about the fact that her parents don't expect much from her. Maybe because the older sibling disappointed the parents in her academic performance. So now she feels that her parents don't expect much from her. If you look at her in social situations, she tends to walk away from those situations, rather than voicing how she feels, rather than voicing her or expressing herself and her opinions. At work, if you that was a personal front. If you look at her professional front, right after graduating from school, she has been underemployed. If you take into consideration her knowledge, skill, and aptitude, she's been underemployed. And had she been a little more assertive in articulation, had she been a little more higher on her self esteem, management would have considered her for and would have given her for various promotional positions in the last 3 years, but that is not how it happened. Now, you are very close to Ria, and in order to help her out and in order to boost her self esteem, what would you do?